Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Black Lightning and what is going on with all the crossover stuff and also Static Shock. So recently they just released a report that Static Shock might be appearing on the show at some point, which is really awesome as in the comics they have similar powers, and it would be really cool seeing Jefferson Pierce in a sort of mentoring seat at the same time as fighting crime and obviously having his family issues, dealing with that. And it was also really cool, if you guys haven't seen Young Justice, you should totally check it out because they sort of did that story arc for a bit. They introduced Black Lightning and Static as part of the Outsiders, and then they sort of teamed up together and Black Lightning sort of taught him a bit because Static only recently got his powers, so it was really cool. I highly recommend you guys go check that out. But along with this, we got reports that a crossover with the Arrowverse, that's The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, is not out of the picture. They're totally down to do it in the future, which is strange as one of the people, I'm not totally sure, but it's a person who has a bit of power, not much power. He said the show is going to be like a solo series and it's like totally different from the other CW Arrowverse shows and focus less on the superhero side of the story, but more the nitty-gritty dark crime side of it. So from this report, it seemed like a while back that this show was going to be heading down the crime alley, which doesn't usually end too well for TV shows considering they don't last very long for the most part. But it seems like this is not their full intention now, so this person obviously doesn't have too much power because the executive producers just said a crossover is possible, they want to do it in the future, and they're totally down to do the more superheroing side of the show rather than just the political street drama, which they're totally doing. I support that. That's really cool, but I think they need to include this superhero side as well. So the executive producer said, "I love the idea of Static Shock in success, hopefully." So this gives us hope, as when they announced the show we were all wondering whether Static would be in the show, as it made a lot of sense that he would show up considering he has a lot of the same powers and he could also be a mentor figure, and I think that would work with the story very well. So he is basically saying if the show goes well and it's well received and they get good ratings, they're totally going to go down this route, introduce Static and then later go on to crossover with the Arrowverse. So they're totally down for that. It's just like a small part of the show. A small part of the showrunners maybe don't want to do that, but it seems like the executive producers who have a lot of power do want to do that in the future if it succeeds. So in the comics, Black Lightning is based in the slums in Metropolis, so they could totally say that Black Lightning is on Earth 38, which is Kara's Earth, and maybe the vigilante Clark was talking about that he worked with in the past was not Batman, so maybe it was Black Lightning, because it would make sense because they're both in Metropolis but different parts of Metropolis. So that would be a way to start the crossover. If they intend to do a crossover, it would be like Clark introduces the team to Black Lightning, say, "Oh, this is Jefferson Pierce, he's willing to help you," and they're like, "Cool, my name is Kara Danvers, I'm Supergirl." Or the easiest way would probably be to just use the multiverse theory, just say, "Oh, you've never heard of Black Lightning, even though he's been a hero for ages, because he's from another Earth, and on your Earth, Jefferson Pierce is just a normal guy." So it's going to be really interesting seeing if they do crossover, and I really want Static Shock, so I don't think there will be a crossover in season 1 if I'm totally honest, but I can see if the show succeeds that they will totally go for the crossover and introducing more comic book characters like Static Shock. But anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a thumbs up and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.